Hey you guys and welcome. Thank you for clicking on my video and please consider subscribing. In today's video I'm going to talk about Elisa Lam. This is probably one of the bizarrest stories I've read, so let's get on with it. Elisa Lam was the daughter of Hong Kong immigrants David and Yina. Lam was a 21-year-old college student that wanted to take a trip to the West Coast by herself to have a getaway from her studies at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, where she was originally from. Her family didn't like the idea of her traveling by herself, but the young Lam was determined to go alone. Lam let her family know that she would make sure to check in with them every day while she was gone and let them know she was safe. On June 26, 2013, Elisa Lam arrived in LA. She had came by the Amtrak train from San Diego and was headed to Santa Cruz. But once she arrived in LA, she wanted to stay a few days and checked into the Cecil Hotel near downtown Skid Row. Lam was initially assigned a shared room on the hotel's 5th floor. However, her roommates complained about certain odd behaviors, and she was moved to another room a couple days later. Now, before we get on with the story, let's talk about the Cecil Hotel for a bit. The Cecil Hotel is a budget hotel in downtown LA, and it opened in 1927. Since 1931, it had gained the reputation for suicide and other violent deaths. Just to name a few, Elizabeth Short, which the media had called her the Black Dahlia, was found in the middle of an empty street, cut in half, with cuts on her face from the corners of her mouth to her ear. And that case still remains unsolved. There's Richard Ramirez, aka the Night Stalker. He's a serial killer, and he actually stayed at the Cecil Hotel also. In 1931, W.K. Norton, 46, was found dead in his room after ingesting poisonous capsules. 1932, Benjamin, 25, was dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. 1934, former Army Medical Corps Sergeant Lewis, 53, was found dead in his hotel room. He had slashed his throat with a razor. 1937, Grace Margot fell from the 9th-story window. Her fall was broken by telephone wires, which was wrapped around her body. She later died. There has been at least 18 different murders, suicides, and unexplained paranormal events that has taken place at the Cecil Hotel. Alright, let's get back to Lam. So like I said, Lam told her family she will keep in touch with them every day to let them know she was okay. But on January 31st, 2013, the day she was scheduled to check out of the Cecil Hotel and leave for Santa Cruz, her parents did not hear from her, and that wasn't like her. So they had called the Los Angeles Police Department to report her missing. The police searched the premises of the Cecil Hotel but couldn't find her. Her family eventually flew out to LA to help with the search. Hotel staff and the bookkeeper had seen Lam that day that she went missing and said that she was alone. Police searched the hotel to the extent they legally could. They searched Lam's room and had dogs go through the buildings, including the rooftop, but the dogs were unsuccessful in detecting her scent. On February 15th, 2 weeks later, there is still no sign of Lam. The LAPD released a video of the last known sighting of Lam, taken in one of the Cecil's elevators by the video surveillance camera on February 1st. The video drew worldwide interest in the case due to Lam's very strange, odd behavior. I'm going to go ahead and insert the surveillance camera of Lam on the elevator at the Cecil Hotel. So the door opened and Lam enters the elevator and goes to the control panel. She appears to be selecting several floors straight down the middle row and then steps back to the corner. After a few seconds, during which the door fails to close, she steps up and kind of leans forward with her head peeking out both sides, and then steps back and then ends up going in the corner near the buttons, the control buttons. The door still remains open. She walks to it again and stands kind of like in the doorway to see if she sees anybody or if anyone's, there or why the door's not closing. And then she kind of steps out as and then like kind of pops out really, and then steps to the side, and then goes back in the elevator again, and then steps back outside. She goes to the side, and you can't really see her because she's kind of out of the picture, but she's standing there with the hands to her side, and then it looks like she picks her hands up to her head or her forehead or whatnot. And here I don't even if she's talking to somebody or if she's just thinking like, what the hell is going on? You know. And then she kind of holds on to the side like if she lost a little bit of her balance, and then starts pressing many more buttons in the elevator just so the door would close. And still the door did not close no matter how many times she pushed the button. Then she kind of gets off again and goes to the side. And then it looks like if she's like talking to somebody with her hands, and her hands look very long. Her palms are flat and her fingers seem very long and weird in the video. I don't know if she's, talking to somebody or if she's gesturing to somebody, counting on her fingers, it looks like. Yeah, and then she just looks that way, puts her hand on her head, and then ends up walking away from the elevator. And the elevator door doesn't close, but eventually, it does. That is so crazy. Wow. During the search for Lam, guests at the hotel started complaining about low water pressure, and it also had an unusual taste, which led to the employees to investigate their water tanks. So on the morning of February 19th, Lam's body was found in one of the 4 1,000-gallon tanks providing water to the guest rooms, a kitchen, and a coffee shop. Lam's body was moderately decomposed and bloated. There was no evidence of physical trauma, sexual assault, or suicide. According to a statement by the chief of the Los Angeles Fire Department, the tank in which Lam's body was found had to be drained completely and then cut open from the side to remove her body since maintenance hatch was too small to accommodate her body. The circumstances of Lam's death once she was found also raised questions, especially in the light of the hotel's history in relation to other notable deaths and murders. It took the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office over 4 months after repeated delays to release the autopsy report, which reports a finding of accidental drowning with bipolar disorder as a significant factor. The full coroner's report released stated that Lam's body had been found naked with clothing similar to what she was wearing in the elevator surveillance video, and her watch and her room key was also found next to her. The investigation had determined how Lam died, but did not offer any explanation as to how she got in the tank in the first place. Doors and stairs that access the hotel's roof were locked, with only the staff members having the passcodes and the keys, and any attempt to force them would supposedly have triggered an alarm. But the hotel's fire escape would have allowed her to bypass those security measures if she or if someone else have accompanied her up there. This is a crazy, bizarre story. While there are no answers to this mystery behind the death of Elisa Lam, it still remains unclear to what happened to her. Comment down below and let me know what you guys think. How do you think she got in those tanks? How do you think she ended up dying? Comment down below and let me know.